on, everyone. Wake up. It's pageant day.
Everybody's wearing a smile. Today is pageant day. And for just a little bitty while, it'll be a special way of bringing to Adelaide and all of its children a fairyland world of joy. Given out with love from Father Christmas to every girl and boy.
To the most anticipated family event of the year, the 2013 Credit Union Christmas Pageant.
More than 300,000 people are joining us here on the streets of Adelaide, where the pageant tradition began in 1933.
And wherever you are in Australia or around the world, we're thrilled that you could join us for this very special event.
The theme for this year is Everybody's Welcome, and that's because the pageant is for everyone of all ages and all nationalities. It's a wonderful way of celebrating community.
And it's the biggest event of its kind in the world, the day that Father Christmas comes to town. Samantha Jade there performing Australia's national anthem. So not long now before all the floats will reach us here on North Terrace, Brenton.
Yeah, it takes about an hour for the pageant to wind through the city. Started at 9:30 along King William Street, right of Victoria Square, then onto Wakefield Street, Pulteney Street as well, left on Flinders and back onto King William before making the final stretch here to the Magic Cave.
Now, another great tradition like the Magic Cave that still continues today is the blowing of Sir Edward Hayward's original gold whistle, and that honour today going to the chair of the Credit Union Pageant Company, Peter Evers.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there we have it, the blowing of the whistle heralding the start of the 2013 Credit Union Christmas Pageant, and the police greys. Aren't they beautiful? The Australian Police Mounted Operations Unit here in South Australia, heralding the start of the pageant. This year, of course, marks the 175th anniversary of our police, when they were first established in 1838, followed by the band of the SA Police. And of course, a very special year this year, isn't it, Kate? 175 years of policing in South Australia.
They're beautiful old vehicles there. You can see they're in their traditional uniforms as well, Brenton, looking absolutely fabulous, celebrating the history of the South Australian Police.
Yes, we've gone from horsepower, the police greys, to real V8 horsepower here. The first patrol vehicle acquired in 1923. There's a Hudson Tourer there as well. And of course, we just saw earlier on the police horse-drawn car. We've as you say, walking down memory lane here, looking back at all those years of policing here in South Australia. 175 years. This is from the Police Historical Society. And they started, of course, the police started in 1838, only a couple of years after South Australia was first settled.
And of course the banner here trumpeting the start of the 2013 Credit Union Christmas pageant. All the colour and excitement has arrived, Brenton. It's so exciting.
And that is none other than Satchmo the Elephant trumpeting in 2013, created by artist David Blight with the lead lighting by Stephen Lane and Corey Hawkins.
Of course, Satchmo was named after Louis Armstrong because Satchmo was his nickname.
And there we have the start of our clowns, more than 250 clowns in the pageant. And in fact, if you look as Satchmo goes past, we might get a look in just a moment. There's another clown holding Satchmo up. I don't know how much he must weigh.
Probably a fair bit, I think.
What a celebration, hey? The 2013 Christmas pageant is here. It means Father Christmas can't be too far away. And look, our new elves this year.
Boots and Twinkle, created by Stephanie Fisher and Giselle Reschke, looking fabulous to head up the Christmas pageant. Aren't they beautiful, Brenton?
They are. They're one of 172 moving theatrical sets in the pageant, and one of our first years of creating puppetry in the pageant. And what a magnificent job there, all the movement.
It was quite a challenge for the Stardust Castle team to get all the moving parts moving so freely, but they look magnificent, and it's wonderful to welcome them this year.
And speaking of welcoming, the Poultney Grammar School Drum Corps.
Continuing the beat behind them, of course, is Christmas Beat. Look at those fantastic colours on the clown there, playing the drums along with the Poultney Grammar School Drum Corps.
And look at those drums, they're playing themselves.
They're doing a pretty good job.
There's a bit of magic there, isn't there? Designed by Kit Chambers and Sarah Kalinkas and Raylene Berry with costumes.
We all love this one, Brenton, the Austin 7 Clown Capers. The little car chugging along here down North Terrace.
Beautiful car too, and looking inside, I reckon that's the editor of Sunday Mail, David Pemberth, and his children, wearing all that clown makeup. Actually, I'm surprised that car hasn't taken off, given all those balloons. It's a great Austin 7, isn't it? It's like that movie, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Of course, it was in the theatre only this year as well, at the Adelaide Festival Theatre.
Maybe it will fly off at the end of the pageant.
Oh, wouldn't that be magical too?
All the clowns having fun with the audience along the route here on North Terrace.
Now, as we know, this year the theme, Kate, is Everybody's Welcome, and this is celebrated with Christmas around the world. Artist Kari Lindsay got this act together in 2010, featuring the music of Afro-Oz Musica. It's a fusion of African and Australian flavours with a great mix of musicians from Zimbabwe, South Sudan, South Africa, Torres Strait Islanders and mainland Australia. You're going to love listening to it when they come past, but representing here all the different nations around the world.
And all the ways that they celebrate Christmas, Brenton.
This is true.
Beautiful costumes, traditional costumes and colour here.
Yes, it's a joyous celebration of music and culture. And as we say, this year's theme, Everybody's Welcome, for people of all ages and all nationalities. Here's the music. How cool is that, eh?
Here is Swinging on a Star, featuring Samantha Jade, who kicked off our pageant this year with the national anthem. And also, if you look very closely, there's Samantha there waving to all the boys and girls. And if you look very closely on this float this year, you might also spot Michael, Haley and Burjo from the SAFM Breakfast crew.
Now, Swinging on a Star, stars have a very symbolic meaning at Christmas time. There's a star on nearly every tree out there. And of course, Christmas celebrates the birth of a very special child beneath a famous star in Bethlehem, now more than 2,000 years ago.
And here we have the Tea Tree Gully Redbacks, one of 5 bands in the Banksia Park Concert Bands, South Australia's largest community-based band program.
followed by the SA Precision team. These are the dancers from the SA Precision team showing the formation component of calisthenics, which is a sport involving movement and dance. We're getting plenty of that in the pageant. One of about a dozen dancing groups here in this year's pageant.
This is a beautiful float. I love this one, Brenton. The young artist Colour My World, designed and donated by internationally acclaimed artist David Bromley, whose art explores the world of children.
And well complemented too by the little toothpaste tubes. Our staff from the different sponsoring credit unions dressed up there as the painting tubes.
And aren't those two kids painting some beautiful things there on their easels?
I love the dog on the back. Always guarantee a dog to cause a bit of trouble knocking the paint over. Yeah, celebrating young artists colouring our world. This is what I like.
Galaxy 2000 spaceship. This has got to be one of the best jobs, I think, in the pageant, Brenton, flying the Galaxy 2000.
Now we've got quite a mix here of both aliens and space cadets. So a friendly universe after all.
They've flown quite a way to be with us today, I think.
They have.
All the way from outer space.
Yes, Christmas is celebrated right across the universe. I know that when astronauts are in space, they celebrate Christmas when they're up there.
And there's the aliens causing some trouble at the back.
I love the Star Wars theme too. How cool is that? What's this? Looks like the Nightmare Before Christmas.
A little bit.
This is number 13, Ghastly Grove. Oh.
Looking nasty. I've got the chills, Brenton.
Reminds me of those classic movies like Beetlejuice, or maybe you remember Klopek's house from the Burbs.
I don't think it's anything to be scared about, though. It's just a thrilling party.
It is, isn't it? Bit of ABBA. Are they ghouls, or is that just my imagination? Oh, look at that big scary hand of the tree creeping over the house.
I think that needs to be trimmed back a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
And here we have nasty Neville, the Pirate King. Who be this motley crew of pirates, Brenton?
Where be Captain Jack Sparrow?
Is that Captain Hook? Captain Feathersword, maybe?
No, this is Nasty Neville, the Pirate King. If you're listening closely, you can hear the theme from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nasty Neville looking out at all the boys and girls in the crowd, making sure they're waving and smiling.
What buy a rich life for me?
I'm sure he's really a nice pirate.
That's a pretty small ship there, Ringo, isn't it?
It is, with a lot of loot on it.
A huge amount of treasure. If they're not careful, that's going to sink.
The clowns having a bit of fun with the kids.
They are. More than 250 clowns in the pageant. Some of them clown doctors too. They go into hospitals and cheer people up.
Here we welcome the Scotch College Tattoo Corps.
This is the only youth band to participate in this year's Christmas pageant, directed by Pipe Major Malcolm Massey and Drum Sergeant Greg Bassani, with the dancers taught by Leonie Burgess. Here's a little forest fantasy.
And here come the bugs, Brenton, the forest fantasy.
Yes, featuring the theatre bugs. It's quite an adventure to be had in your own backyard. If you look closely enough, you can find all sorts of colourful creatures. And here we have Pippi the caterpillar. Very colourful caterpillar too.
And the theatre bugs, they're all from a talent school directed by Joni Coombe, daughter of internationally famous children's entertainer Peter Coombe.
And of course, what happens with every beautiful caterpillar?
They turn into a beautiful butterfly, Brenton.
That they do.
And all the gorgeous garden fairies escorting the butterfly, fluttering their wings as they float down North Terrace.
It's a beautiful time of year, isn't it? So many butterflies at the moment enjoying our spring weather. We're lucky with our weather today, actually. There was talk of a possible shower, but sunny skies here in North Terrace at the moment. About 14 degrees. Beautiful day to be down here at the pageant. And that garden is looking very, very green.
We've had plenty of rain, so it's looking very lush this time of year.
Isn't that a beautiful butterfly? They're the most gracious, gorgeous looking insects, aren't they? I love this. Once Upon a Storybook. It's based on all sorts of fairy tales.
I think we can see the different characters in there, Brenton. I think I can see Little Miss Muffet sitting there on her tuffet.
Yeah,
Old King Cole.
You've got the weasel there chasing the gingerbread man.
I think there's Humpty Dumpty in there as well somewhere.
The mouse on the clock. All these little mice running out of the book. And look at that, Jack and the Beanstalk with a big giant hanging over the book.
We love it how all these stories come to life this time of year.
Here's another star of the pageant. That's Humphrey.
You're right, it is too. Humphrey there on his tower waving to everyone.
And he's conducting none other than the Nutcracker with Maestro Humphrey B. Bear. What a funny old fellow he is. Wonderful to have him in the pageant. Of course, the Nutcracker. Remember that story? Clara receives a Nutcracker for Christmas from her uncle Drosselmeyer. You can see them in the dark suit.
And of course, all those beautiful dancers are none other than the Australian Classical Youth Ballet.
The Cossacks there as well around the float, forming the dance stage out front with our credit union staff. More than 3,000 staff involved from the different credit unions in this year's pageant. About 300,000 too, at least that, lining the streets here in Adelaide, South Australia.
And they do a wonderful job.
I wonder where we might see this. This is the naughty or nice meter.
I was dreading this, Brenton. I'm not sure where I'm going to fall this year. Do you reckon you've been good?
Well, let's give it a spin, see, and see where we fell. Nice, needs help, naughty.
Almost there.
Which one was it in the end?
Oh no, I think it ended up on naughty.
Well, the good thing is Father Christmas, he checks his list twice. Oh, you're nice!
Excellent. We got a nice this year. Well done, Brenton.
You've been nice, well done.
There'll be some good presents coming our way, I'm sure. Of course, this was designed in 2011 mini float competition and attracted more than 360 entries.
Here's a band that started in 1926, the Hahndorf Town Band.
This is a new float. I've been very excited about this one, Brenton. Little Red Riding Hood.
And a huge, big bad wolf. Although he doesn't look too bad there, dressed in Grandma's clothes. Remember the story, he's already eaten Grandma at this point.
And there's Little Red Riding Hood looking beautiful in her red hood.
And a beautiful basket of goodies there as well. Brought over to see Grandma, but has been encountered with this wolf-looking Grandma.
And who's that hiding underneath the bed? There's Grandma.
Oh, there she is.
No, she's stuck under the bed and
She's
the wolf's
pretty scared, isn't
watch.
she? Yeah.
She does look pretty scared.
Oh, look at the axeman hiding behind. You'll see him shortly.
I think he's coming to the rescue.
What a great new float in 2013.
Of course, designed by long-term pageant artist David Blight.
You can see the hunter there on the back, out looking for a wolf on the loose. And here's Alice in Wonderland, and the crazy characters. It's Tweedledee and Tweedledum up front. The Queen of Hearts is there.
The caterpillar there. And Alice. And the March Hare.
Beautiful makeup being done. That was all done early this morning.
All of the participants in Alice in Wonderland today are lucky SAFM competition winners, thanks to the credit unions giving up some places to allow more of the community to experience the pageant magic, Brenton, and that's what it's all about.
I love Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They're great characters, aren't they?
Hansel and Gretel have found the lolly house, but they better watch out for the strange person with the purple hair. I think that's the witch, Brenton.
Pretty smart.
friendly.
Yeah, I know. She does look pretty friendly, doesn't she? Look at the size of those lollipops.
That'll take a while to get through.
I reckon they're still from last year, actually. What a beautiful house. I'm pretty tempted to eat that house. Wouldn't you want to eat that house, Kate?
I would probably have a good go
All
at
the
it.
sugar and candy on it?
You'd get a bellyache after that.
The Flights of Fancy with Granny Flo, a wonderful pageant storyteller. Passing on stories from the past and encouraging young people to travel and explore the world.
Some of the best seats in the house there. Two of the kids up on top of Granny Flo's back. And all the smoke coming out of her nose there as she watches all the boys and girls on the side of the road.
Beautiful eyes there, Granny Flo. Of course, we do want to thank all the grandparents that have been lining up since the early hours. About 5 o'clock this morning, most of them grabbed a posse here on North Terrace and across the city streets.
Here's the City of Elizabeth Pipe Band.
Clowning clarity is top hat and huge shoes. They're size 35 shoes, Kate.
He's 2.5 metres in length. He's by far the tallest clown in the pageant, Brenton.
He's got a very, very big nose. I wonder if that means he's been lying.
I'm not sure, but he's definitely pointing the way to the Magic Cave where the man himself, Father Christmas, will be delivered today. Won't be long now.
Here's another famous clown in the pageant, Pogo, built in 1997 by artist David Blight and the Stardust Castle team.
And of course, he's become a very iconic face of the pageant, Brenton. Takes about 5 hairdressers to get his hair done in time for today. It's a lot of hair to get through.
If the police were here, they'd say he should be wearing a helmet, but it doesn't fit on his head.
I love this float. All of the kids from Sir Kids on this beautiful moving float, twisting and twirling and doing all their tricks all the way down the pageant route today.
More than 3 kilometres from South Terrace to here on North Terrace in the city. These guys have been performing all that way. All the special weightlifters there as well.
The strong men. And look at those girls doing the splits there. I don't think I could ever do that.
Very talented young people there. Look out for the bearded ladies too, the strong men. Some ponies in there as well. The bearded ladies, hang on. Something a bit different in the pageant. Well, we do say the pageant is for everyone. What a colourful float that is. And
Our pageant security officer has arrived, Brenton.
Here's McDougal, I'll start again. McDougal, the detective.
So the mice have raided the Central Market in Gooja Street and they've taken all the cheese. But don't worry, Matt Dougal is on the case.
Now, it's not just McDougal here. If you actually take a closer look, have a look who's peering through the rubbish bin there. Can you see that?
I think it's the cat burglar. He's hiding from McDougal.
Well,
No wonder the mice are at play.
At least they're going to stay in the bin and the cat won't be in any trouble at all.
There are the mice there, causing a bit of mischief.
Another one of our classic cars in the pageant. A lot of these vehicles pulling the floats are dating back to the 50s and 60s. Incredible amount of history here in the pageant, dating back to 1933, the very first one that started here in the city during the Great Depression as a way of bringing joy back to our city.
This has been a great float since it was introduced in 2006. This is Christmas wrapping featuring the Clinic and Mighty Good Talent Kids. MC Shep's up there getting everyone going with his rapping, Brenton, getting all the kids clapping.
That is cool.
And we've got some action happening in the rage cage, skateboarding, breakdancing.
How cool is that? That would be awesome being a part of that. It's Tinsel Time with the Gang Show.
This is a new walking set, Brenton, designed by artist Peter Golding, to bring some more colour and movement to the pageant, and hasn't it done that?
It sure has, isn't that beautiful?
And these mobiles are being carried by the Gang Show, which is where young people learn skills through theatre. And the Gang Show provide more than 140 volunteers to the pageant each year.
Here's another one of my favourites, Ye Old Pageant Tram. And the characters to fit the era as well. Our lucky kids riding on board the tram won a spot there in this year's tram ride.
And it's wonderful to take a tram from the city down to Glenelg and spend a day by the seaside. We love doing that here in Adelaide.
And of course, this takes us back to the very first pageant in 1933, where a lot of people would actually come into the city using the trams to see the pageant. There was no television back in those days. So in order to see the pageant, you actually had to come here. And you got here by the old trams.
Kingsley's vintage cars have arrived, and the Keystone Cops. These are 6 vintage cars driven by 6 unlicensed Charlie Chaplins, chased by 12 Keystone Cops. It's a recipe for disaster,
It
Brendan.
is really, isn't it? In the green Ford pickup there, Jerica Shavenko.
We've got Tia Olsen in the white Lorraine Clement.
Ella Dixon just drove past in the yellow Rover Roadster.
There's Levi Shevchenko.
In the Baker Electric. Saw that beautiful Dennis fire engine there as well. April Redden's driving that. And you'll see another blue one too, the Renault Saloon. Chanel Warcliffe driving that.
And these are beautiful vintage cars built by Kingsley Savage.
And this is Christmas on Parade. The genuine London bus that was shipped to Adelaide in the 1970s specifically for this pageant. It's belonged to the pageant ever since.
And the bus is full of families from Heart Kids SA and Time for Kids, 2 children's charities that have been invited to join this year's pageant by the credit unions.
On the painting as well. What a thrill it would be to be riding on the top of the double-decker bus.
A big hello to all the kids from Heart Kids SA and Time for Kids.
These have had a long history in our pageant, our clowns here.
Look at them bobbing up and down as they walk down North Terrace.
We welcome the Onkaparinga City Concert Band, proudly serving the community in the south here in South Australia.
And dancing colourfully behind them, we welcome the Belly Dance Art Academy for the very first time in the Christmas pageant.
An annual part of the pageant is the Parade of the Flags, supporting by our credit unions, of course.
Carried proudly this year by the Adelaide Lightning Dancers.
We do thank our sponsors, People's Choice Credit Union, Beyond Bank Australia, Credit Union SA and the Police Credit Union.
Ah, Brenton, this is my favourite float in the pageant. We welcome the pageant royal family for 2013. This is an annual tradition having existed for over 70 years, and the process of selecting a pageant queen began in 1939 with the help of wartime fundraising.
And then we have the pageant queen, Natalie Menz from People's Choice Credit Union, joined with pageant king, Kim Burles from People's Choice.
Our beautiful Princess Madeline Dean and Prince Ben Thompson from Beyond Bank, Princesses Amanda McCrow and Prince James Hardy from Credit Union SA, and Princess Karen Shearing and Prince Todd Gackle from Police Credit Union. Don't they look beautiful today, Brenton?
They do. Our Junior Princess Kiana and Junior Prince Nathan as well, on their way over to the Women's and Children's Hospital to say good day to the kids over there.
And the London bus with the Australian Classical Youth Ballet. This is an authentic 1946 London bus filled with the credit union competition winners lucky enough to have a fun ride in the pageant, and they've got a great view too.
And I love the theme for this one. It's a Mary Poppins theme. When you have a close look there, you can see they're surrounded by the characters straight from the movie.
Flower sellers, chimney sweeps and Cockney characters, don't they look wonderful?
You can recognise some of the tunes there too.
Of course, you can catch the Australian Classical Youth Ballet. They're performing their annual Christmas season with live narration from Brenton Whittle and Bookworm at the Arts Theatre on the 15th of December. You can book at Bass or at the door. And our clown's having a bit of fun too, Brenton, giving high fives with a really big hand. Can't miss that one.
You know, we're so lucky with the weather today. It's nice and cool, about 14 degrees out there at the moment. The pageant goes on, rain, hail or shine. The only thing that stopped the pageant was the Second World War before it resumed as the Victory pageant in 1945. And it's amazing to think there'd be many grandparents watching now that would remember that day, perhaps even the very first pageant in 1933.
Not to mention that those that would remember the very first televised pageant, which was in 1959, Brenton. And of course, if you're on social media with your mobile phones, maybe snapping away on the side of the road, at CU Pageant, tag us in. Here we have a pageant favourite, Nellie the Elephant, Brenton. Isn't she just beautiful?
Yes, a real star of the pageant.
Accompanied by Bollywood fusion beats. Captures the theme of Bollywood, bringing cultures together and making their own sense of magic. We've got the bride and the groom, as well as dancers, both on and off the float. This brings a lot of colour and movement. And they've been dancing all the way along the route today, Brenton.
Just incredible.
Over 3 kilometres, and they still have all that energy. What a great effort.
Yeah, look at the colour and enthusiasm, as you would for the pageant too.
And wouldn't you guess, this is Nellie the Elephant's 63rd pageant, and she's still going strong. Look at her trundling down.
Yeah, that is amazing. Powered by 9,000 moving parts and a 1940s Ford Prefect motor. Almost as iconic as the pageant itself. And the Bollywood float right behind there with the band playing.
There's
the bride and groom.
The bride and groom coming up.
He's one of these classic tow motors, Kate, that's been repainted this year for the pageant. Straight from the 1950s, they used to pull these luggage trolleys at the airport and railway stations.
Look at that great Bollywood dancing, Brenton.
It's Taj Mahal right behind him. Look at that beautiful painting. Another great way of being able to celebrate our pageant with this year's theme. Everybody's welcome again, for every age and every nationality represented here in the pageant. Let's go to Virginia now, eagerly awaiting Father Christmas.
Thanks, Brenton and Kate. I mean, the kids are so excited down here. We're still a little while before we see Father Christmas, but there's been so much excitement so far. Who's been your favourite so far?
Santa.
Waiting on him. Have you liked all the colour and excitement so far? Yeah, and what do you think, you know, when Santa finally comes? What will you say to him, you reckon?
Have I been good this year?
Kids, are you all excited?
Yeah!
Yeah. We can't wait, Brenton and Kate. Not long now before he comes.
He's almost here, Virginia. We can't wait. The excitement is building here in Adelaide, all along the pageant route. And it's been a wonderful pageant so far, but as you say, not long now till Father Christmas arrives here.
More than 3,000 participants in the pageant, hundreds of others working behind the scenes, and a crowd of more than 300,000 lining the streets of Adelaide.
A big welcome to the South Australian Police pipes and drums.
And beautiful Nipper, adorned with beautiful flower arrangements, with Ashton Lambert being selected to take this most honoured position, riding Nipper in the pageant.
Every little girl's dream, Brenton, and she looks very happy to be on top of Nipper there today. Of course, beautiful flowers adorning the float. And that's all thank you to the Woodville Academy of Floral Design.
Of course, Nipper was in the very first pageant in 1933.
And in the first Magic Cave in 1926. It was a family rocking horse originally to the Hayward family.
What a beautiful thrill that is. Of course, you'll be able to go and see Nipper in the Magic Cave.
And young Adelaide voices there, providing us with some beautiful Christmas tunes. And here we have Nipper's counterpart, Nimble. And on top of Nimble this year, we have Lucky Poppy Francis from Victor Harbour. And of course, beautiful flowers there again, Brenton, by the Woodville Academy of Floral Design.
Yes, we want to thank Blair Ringwald and Julia Jacobs there from the Woodville Academy of Floral Design. Beautiful flower arrangements right through the pageant. Very time consuming too. They pretty well burn the midnight oil getting all these flowers ready for us. And new to this year's pageant, this is Ringo, the North Pole Hotline, a direct line to Father Christmas with our Stardust Castle core representatives there.
And this is the winner of this year's mini float competition. There was over 470 entries received from across the state, and the winner was Casey Van Heusen, a 9-year-old from Golden Grove, designed Ringo the North Pole Hotline, so we can all give Father Christmas a call and leave a message for him right after the pageant.
He's got a dial for a nose.
Christmas jazz in the park with the pageant jazz band.
The unmistakable sound there, of course, is a pageant favourite, Keith Conlon, on the drums.
Good on you, Keith.
Another iconic face of the pageant. And this pageant band's been going from somewhere between 40 to 50 years, Brenton. They won't tell us exactly how long they've been going.
And of course, this float was new in 2010 with another big South Australian icon, Adelaide's Elder Park Rotunda.
Followed closely by Hoo the Jester. There are over 370 fully bills on the Jester's clothes.
He's having a good old time, isn't he?
Just turning his head there slowly to take in the crowd and the beautiful atmosphere down here on North Terrace.
Having a bit of a laugh there with the clowns as well. Boo-hoo the Jester. Funny name for a jester, isn't it? Boo-hoo. Sounds like he's a bit upset.
And this is a pageant favourite every year because they're just so zany. The Monster Family. They first joined us in 2003, which was the same year that pageant director Brian Gilbertson had his first pageant. It's now his 11th pageant. We've got Zorg, the dad. There he is, Zabella, or Bella for short. She's a little one of the family. She's cheeky. Got Zabella's friend Oog.
Yeah, the lovely red spikes and big blue eyes. Saw her
Zilma
just
there, the
before.
mum, she sees everything because she's got 3 eyes, Brenton, so there's no getting anything past her. And there's a little baby in the pram just behind her, Zuzi.
Oh,
Zuzi was born in
gorgeous.
2009 with all her bright, bright colours.
And if you look out, you can see Baxter poking out his tongue. But here's the biggest, most famous monster of them all. Here's Bruto.
And he's nursing 2 very lucky little children this year. How cool is that? They've got a very good view of the pageant from up there.
Yeah, they're nice and safe there in Bruto's arms.
Waving to all the people who, some of them, Brenton, have lined up since 2 o'clock this morning just to get a good position to see Bruto and all the other floats and moving sets in this year's pageant.
And look at him spotting out all the kids there in the pageant.
You can tell easily why he's a pageant favourite. He's just so cuddly and friendly, isn't he?
Goes back to our theme, doesn't it? Everybody's welcome, no matter what universe you're from. And the Australian Army Band.
And the Adelaide 36 dancers.
Adelaide, hearing all the Christmas carols coming out. Christmas has arrived here in Adelaide, South Australia. It heralds the start of the festive season. And as you say, the Adelaide 36ers dancing team.
Of course, they perform at all the games, Brenton. Look at those high kicks. Well-trained dancers dancing their way down the pageant today.
And Ghana, Yatya Winindo.
This is the red kangaroo dreaming.
It's the traditional Aboriginal Ghana people's name for the central city area of Adelaide and the official name of Victoria Square.
Tandanyanga. It's also the name for the male red kangaroo.
It's a modern sculpture there of the kangaroo using mechanical components. Bit of an Australian version of Nelly, really.
It is. And this is a bit of an Australian tradition as well, going back to a poem that was written in the 1800s, Mulga Bill's Bicycle Club.
Yep, new last year and based on Banjo Patterson's famous poem, Mulga Bill's Bicycle Club. Look at him tearing down the hill there.
And of course, all the cyclist enthusiasts in Adelaide would love this one, Brenton, and we do have a lot of them.
He is about to tour down under. Very clever. Yes, of course, we're proud to have the tour down under here in Adelaide, South Australia in January next year. A lot of cyclists out and about, making the most of our good weather.
And this float, of course, it is. This float is a part of a long tradition of including Australian floats and characters in the Christmas pageant. And how better to do that, Brenton, than with a float dedicated to Possum Magic. This celebrates the classic best-selling childhood storybook by Mem Fox, which was written in 1983.
Yeah, I remember growing up with that. The loved characters Hush and Grandma Poss.
And it's got its very own music, its very own song. Here we go round the Lamington plate, of course, that's...
I did see those Lamingtons. It was pretty tempted, actually, over Byron. Oh, this is cool. Good old Bush Festival with the Bandicoot Boar Rock Music Festival.
They sure know how to throw a party in outback South Australia.
Great choreography there from Lynn Ferrato, performed by the credit union staff there from all our 4 sponsoring credit unions. Credit Union SA, Police Credit Union, Beyond Bank and People's Choice. We thank them for staffing our pageant, more than 3,000 staff.
The Raiders Drum Corps, formed in 1992. And Brenton, the members range from 12 to 40 years.
Look at these penguins tearing around.
And it is on the cooler side today, Brenton, so these guys are having a great time. The ice isn't melting today.
Now we've got Mum and Pop's Penguin build a slippery ice slide for the little penguin family, straight out of the zoo. Of course, you know, the zoo today is offering a very special discount. If you've got your kids there, take them along. You mentioned the word pageant. The kids will get in for free with every paying adult, so you can go and see the penguins we've got there.
Slipping and sliding, having themselves a great time. Teddy Tots, joined by the SA Precision team. Everyone loves a Teddy, Brenton, and everyone has a Teddy story. It's time for bed, but the Teddies are playing with the windmills and they're getting ready for Christmas.
I wish I brought mine in today. He would have loved watching all this.
And all those dancing Teddies there are juniors from the SA Precision team.
And I love the new paintwork, the face of the teddy bear on the new towboater. It's a very, very colourful float. And as you say, what would Christmas be without teddy bears? A real teddy bears picnic here at the Credit Union Christmas pageant.
Look Look at those smiles.
Now this is brand new. Professor Fizz and her chaotic contraptions. Take a look at this, Kate.
She's a real whiz, that Professor Fizz. She loves colour and movement, so she's making these contraptions, and the more chaotic they are, the better.
There's all sorts of contraptions on there. There's a water pump that creates bubbles, an old push bike that runs tennis balls up and down. A bit like that game Mousetrap.
That's
Seen
right.
that before?
Not sure these contraptions have any purpose though, Brenton. Probably not, but Professor Fizz has a lot of fun creating them.
Well, of course, Professor Fizz has a lot to do with creating the pageant. All the ideas you see here are work in progress for next year's pageant. Creating and designing new floats. This one designed by Cowie Lindsay.
High fives for all the kids. Clown's having a great time. Oh, we've got one passed out. Oh dear. Ring the bell, wake him up. There we go.
We need the clown doctors. As we say, there are clown doctors this year. Not only are they clowns in the everyday community, they go into hospitals and cheer up sick kids.
And that's the noise of Adelaide Irish Pipe Band, another pipe band with a very strong history here in Adelaide. They wear the McNeil of Colonsea tartan kilts.
Formed in 1941.
A robot family Christmas celebrates the future of Christmas. So what would a robot want for Christmas, Brenton, do you think?
Well, I'm having a guess. Maybe, just maybe, they'd like a little girl.
They're like a human. That's an idea. A big thanks to The Clinic for arranging some of the robotic moves to our credit union team who've transformed themselves today into these quirky robots.
It's amazing to think here the future of the pageant, these robots. Of course, we're kind of in a new age these days with mobile phones, aren't we?
We sure are. The pageant has gone high-tech. Its website, cupageant.com.au, is looking fantastic. You can play games on there, and you can also download a free Credit Union Christmas pageant app for the first time on all smartphones.
And here we have another float with great representation from our own Adelaide Zoo with Wong Wong and Fooney.
Wong Wong, the daredevil surfer there, riding the waves here at Christmas time.
Yeah, of course, the best thing about Christmas here in South Australia is the beach, the warmer weather. Trying to steal an ice cream there off Smokey the koala.
Anything is possible. This is the Tutti Ensemble.
Yes, celebrating disability in our community and setting the benchmark for connecting people with a disability with mainstream theatre.
This would be a community group to support. If you'd like more information, you can check out their website.
With all our festivals here in Adelaide, South Australia, Tutti Ensemble get together and perform right around the year. Different singing, theatrical acts, wonderful group of people. And that looks to me like the Three Wise Men, or is it the Three Wise Guys? Of course, establishing the theme here for the Christmas pageant and the Nativity.
A beautiful tableau of Bethlehem manger scene accompanied by the stirring sounds of O Holy Night. And for the first time this year, Brenton, we have a live Mary and Joseph there. Look at Mary holding baby Jesus.
Amazing to think that without this very float here, the Nativity scene, the pageant itself wouldn't exist. Chance to reflect back on history more than 2,000 years ago. Although I don't think that tow motor was around then. mantelpiece.
And the Angels standing by as we welcome the Unley concert band with the Strictly Talented dancers. Now these guys have been state champions for several years. Of course, their waistcoats are designed to represent the double blue colours of the Unley-based Sturt Football Club.
And what a great music track, the final countdown. Counting down now to Christmas, just 46 sleeps away, Kate.
It's coming up so soon, and of course the countdown for the big man arriving here in just a few moments' time. Father Christmas is not far away. We will see him very soon.
Well, when we see this float, 'twas the night before Christmas, we know that Father Christmas can't be far away, featuring the young Adelaide voices.
Young Adelaide voices there. Great to see all the boys there singing in the choir. I think a friendly mouse there's napped off though.
Well, the singing is so beautiful and peaceful. It's true. Asleep.
He is missing all the action though.
Beautiful young Adelaide voices prepared by Christy Anderson.
They're holding wooden spoons and bowls. I think they might be making a cake. Christmas cake maker, the Prestige Dance Academy. This is their first time in the pageant, and they're leading the way ahead of...
This is Bobby Soxer Dancers. They come from the Prestige Dance Academy. First time in the pageant.
Look at that clown juggling all the ingredients there. Stirring a big cake mix. We should be in for a very nice cupcake after the pageant.
Oh, looking forward to that, Kate. It certainly got me hungry.
And this was designed by Kit Chambers. You'd have to have good balance to stir that cake mix, I think, Brenton.
Yeah,
wouldn't want to fall off, it'll go everywhere.
Nothing like licking the beaters afterwards, eh?
And here's the finished product, a Cupcake Christmas, designed by St. John's Grammar at Bel Air.
And Kate, I have to commend you on your cupcakes. No one makes cupcakes like yours.
Well, maybe someone who is on this float might beat me to it. Look out for Monique Bowley, South Australia's very own entrant on Channel 9's The Great Australian Bake Off. She's joined with the team from the South Australian Tourism Commission. I'd be too tempted to eat those, Brenton.
Actually, if you look behind, one of them is missing.
Well,
I went to the Stardust Castle just this week, and just don't tell anyone, will you?
I promise I won't.
Toot toot. Christmas in Toy Town, rather. I've got trains on the brain.
They've arrived.
Jolly and Jingles, our pageant characters riding on Christmas in Toy Town, celebrating the youngest of our pageant supporters.
There's so many toys on this float, Brenton. I'm not sure what I want for Christmas yet, but I think when I decide, I'll send an email to Father Christmas at cupageant.com.au and let him know my very special wish. Of course, Jolly and Jingles have been travelling around South Australia with their big smiles, and they've been visiting schools with the royal family this year.
And Christmas wouldn't be the same without a game of cricket. Good old summer cricket in the backyard or on the beach.
Christmas cricket, there you go. He sure is.
If you look closely, our opposition leader, Stephen Marshall, is there. Oh, that's Leon Bignell, our Minister for Tourism too.
Everyone loves a game of cricket at Christmas time.
And again, Stephen.
Batter is Boof Wombat there. Bowling to him is Lizzie Gillespie.
And the iconic music that goes with it too. I love how a lot of thought goes into every float, and the soundtrack is designed specifically for them. It's wonderful. You know, It's amazing, Kate. The first pageant began in 1933 with just 8 floats and 4 bands. Today, 147 moving sets, including 63 floats and 250 clowns and 18 bands. This is the Marion City Band, started in 1969 and been growing ever since. I love this one. This is Grandpa's Christmas workshop with elves, pixies, fairies. The gnomes are busy helping Grandpa out. Although if you look at Grandpa, he's actually having a bit of a doze there. He's nodded off.
He has nodded off. Must have been working very, very hard. But there are plenty of grandpas who can share lots of wonderful pageant memories with their grandchildren this time at Christmas. But the children better ask him before lunch, because I think he might nod off like this grandpa has after lunch.
Oh, nothing like a Christmas afternoon snooze, eh? After that big roast lunch. Turkey lunch, actually. It's for Christmas time, isn't it? Train set down the bottom. Look, there's the train. Oh, I love it.
And the elves and pixies giving us a big wave there.
We've got a little train set around our Christmas tree at home. The Polar Express. Oh, better say thank you to our camera crew, because they know I love the trains, and so they did that especially for me. And they know I love planes too.
You sure do. Another great mini set, Rodney the Biplane. It was designed by students from Owen Primary School as part of the Credit Union Christmas pageant in 2009, that mini float competition. And schools should keep an eye on the pageant website, cupageant.com.au, or follow them on Facebook to find out when the next competition is on again.
And with a big mining boom, we welcome Toby Toy Truck.
This is a big favourite in the pageant, especially with all the little boys. They do love Toby the Toy Truck. The biggest toy truck I've ever seen, Brenton.
And that's the biggest mouth on a toy truck I've seen too.
It sure
Gotta
is.
swallow up all the presents and put them in the back tray there.
Look at all those presents on Toby's back, carrying them into David Jones, into the Magic Cave.
That drum kit's looking pretty special.
Lots of toys there to choose from. And here we have Mother Goose's Christmas table, the classic nursery rhyme character Mother Goose, placed on the Christmas dinner table setting, shows one of the Christmas traditions of getting together around a beautiful, freshly cooked Christmas meal with our families.
Everybody's welcome to come around the Christmas table and, as you say, enjoy a beautiful Christmas lunch.
And without everyone coming together, things like this wouldn't get done. It takes a lot of hands to put together a lovely Christmas lunch. This is the Enfield Brass Band, accompanied by the Cheryl Bradley Dancers.
I don't think that clown is one of Cheryl Bradley dancers.
No, I don't think so, but I do think he loves dancing.
Mind you, the ladies are gorgeous. I'm sure he doesn't mind walking along the whole pageant route with them. The dancers are trained at the Cheryl Bradley School of Dance. Cheryl's grandmother was a clown back in 1933 and 1934. Her mother has been in the pageant, as has she. It's 4 generations involved in the pageant. Hello.
Brenton's
yes, please.
He's lost for words. It's Fergus the North Pole Fire Engine, Brenton's favourite float.
Yeah, I love Fergus the North Pole Fire Engine. Of course, straight after heading to our Metropolitan Fire Service headquarters with their big family open day here at Wakefield Street in the city, blowing out bubbles. Although you're not going to put much of a big fire out with bubbles, though, are you?
It's a lot of fun, though.
Straight from the North Pole. come here to help us out over the summer while Father Christmas is in the Magic Cave.
This is Rudolph's Christmas trolley. Rudolph has a new job this year. He's in charge of the Christmas lolly inventory and is absolutely loving it. Who wouldn't love that job?
And look at the size of those lollipops.
I reckon a few things might go missing
I
off
was
that
going to say,
inventory.
yeah, you better check that little list there, Rudolph, because I reckon there's a few lollies missing.
Yummo, I could almost reach out and grab one.
And wouldn't you want to be sitting in that trolley there? Yes, new for this year, Rudolph's Christmas lolly trolley. I mean, that's part of the fun, isn't it, when you go and see Father Christmas, getting all the lollies on the side?
We do love it. And this is one of the biggest stockings I've ever seen. Celebrates that special time when we put out our Christmas stockings on Christmas Eve and see what we get the next morning. It's always very exciting. And the Christmas stocking is escorted by 24 living dolls.
Great stretch limo too.
Beautiful.
Actually, I'm surprised Father Christmas is not riding in that.
8 metres long.
I wonder if we can hire that.
You might
look
be
at
able to.
Look at the toys in there. See, there's a train in there as
wow.
well. 2 trains.
And a tennis
Thomas even.
racket.
Yep,
Wow,
okay.
and teddy bears.
Straight to my house, thanks. I love this one, Winter Wonderland. It's such a beautiful float.
Reminds us of how the others do Christmas over the other side of the world. Beautiful wintry
Yes.
winter wonderland.
In the Northern Hemisphere where it does snow and we do get to enjoy a white Christmas. You know, that would be wonderful. It's my dream to go and have a white Christmas one day.
And it's wonderful to be reminded of those beautiful stories we loved as kids, especially ones like the Polar Express.
Oh, look at that, you can see the chestnuts.
Roasting on fire.
You stole my words.
Just like a Christmas card come to life.
Really is, isn't it? And we welcome the South Australian detachment of the Royal Australian Navy Band. And celebrating more Christmas colour. This is the Tinsel Time, featuring the gang show members, especially for the pageant. The mobile holders come from the gang show. They supply about 140 volunteers each year working behind the scenes for our very, very special pageant.
And it wouldn't be Christmas without tinsel.
No, we've got a stack of it around our house. Today's a big day in our house. We use the pageant as the opportunity to start Christmas in our home. We put the Christmas tree up, all the decorations are out. The Christmas carols are playing. It's a beautiful day. Peter Golding again responsible for bringing us this beautiful colour, as he does too with the beautiful miniature Christmas pageant at Woodville that'll be on very, very soon. More details on the pageant website, cupageant.com.
Now, speaking of putting up Christmas trees, Brenton, we have our very own tall Christmas tree here. It stands at over 4 metres. And you know what? With the Christmas tree here and those beautiful Christmas fairies underneath it and all those presents, I think that means one thing. I think Father Christmas is not that far away.
I reckon you're right. The first place he heads is the Christmas tree, so he can't be far away.
Of course, lots of families will be going home this afternoon and putting up their own Christmas trees.
Here's another beautiful Christmas card float, isn't it? The Christmas Carol featuring the Australian Girls Choir.
Stardust Castle, the magical Stardust Castle, which brings all the magic of the Christmas pageant to life every year. It has so many stars on it, Brenton, I can't count how many, just like all the stars in the night sky.
Designed by Gary Lee Gaston, it's a beautiful representation of where all the floats come from, Stardust Castle. Looks like a dream come true, doesn't it?
Sure is for those little girls waving on the front there. Little princesses.
Sounds like Jiminy Cricket singing in the background there.
When you wish upon a star, your dreams do come true.
It's a beautiful theme for our pageants, isn't it? I tell you, this is the happiest place on earth right now. Here in Adelaide, South Australia, more than 300,000 people entertained by more than 250 clowns walking the route from South Terrace all the way to here at North Terrace, where very shortly Father Christmas will make his new home at the Magic Cave.
The pipes and drums of the Royal Caledonian.
Here he is, the guy who calls the shots every year on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. It is none other than Father Christmas.
I can't believe it. He's here again for 2013, joined by all of his wonderful reindeers, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donna and Blitzen, and of course Rudolph. But he's made it all the way here to South Australia, a very long trip from the North Pole.
And look what he's got behind him. All those toys going to all the kids here in South Australia.
All the kids and the mums and dads, grandparents, they're all excited. You can hear them cheering for Father Christmas because he's finally here, making his way to the Magic Cave where he'll be up until Christmas Eve.
And I've got a secret for you, Kate. You and I, our names are on his list. He's checked it twice, and we're good to go. We're on the nice list. He's waving. Hopefully he can look at us. Can he see us? Give him a big kiss. And a big wave for Father Christmas. Over here! Over here, Father Christmas! This, of course, means that the Christmas season has begun here in South Australia. We just can't wait. Yes, Christmas is finally here. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, Father Christmas! He spotted us, Kate. He spotted us. He sure has. He's blowing us kisses. What a beautiful float, too, riding in his sleigh. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Isn't that beautiful? And look at all the toys riding on the back. Of course, you can catch him at the Magic Cave. He'll be there any minute now. You can pick up a lucky dip, ride the carousel. We've just been so lucky with the weather today, haven't we? We sure have. Perfect flying conditions for Father Christmas and his reindeers today. They were not too hot at all, hey? As he makes his way down onto the landing stage with a very special message. And beautiful Queen Natalie greeting Father Christmas. As the cheers go up and the crowd is waiting. How exciting! What a thrill it is to have the big fella himself arrive here at Magic Cave, David Jones on North Terrace here in Adelaide, South Australia. Christmas really has arrived, Brenton. Of course, it's not just those that are here in the city. We want to thank and say g'day to the winners at the Port Augusta Cinema and Mount Gambier's Oakdale Cinema, who are lucky enough to be watching the pageant on the big screen. And here to welcome Father Christmas to Adelaide, down on the landing stage, is Virginia Langerberg. Can you believe it? He's finally here. Father Christmas, welcome. He's joined here
just about to meet the royal family. It's so exciting. He's finally here. Father Christmas. Look at all the crowd looking at them. They are loving it. He's come such a long way to finally be here. He's come all the way from the North Pole. Welcome back, Father Christmas.
Thank you, Virginia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We've got so many excited faces here. You've travelled such a long way from the North Pole. A warm welcome, everyone, for Father Christmas. Can we have 3 cheers? Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Now
What a wonderful crowd.
Yeah, we hear you've come all this way with a special message for us
I
all.
have. Yes, I have.
What would you like to say to everyone out here in South Australia?
I wish for love, peace and goodwill toward all. And to all the children and their families and friends, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas!
Well, there you have it. Father Christmas has arrived safe and sound here in Adelaide, South Australia, and he'll now make his way to David Jones to his new home in the Magic Cave.
Yes, how exciting. You can see him there pick up a lucky dip, ride the carousel and see Dipper and Nimble open daily at David Jones in Rundle Mall. What a thrill to have him here with us in South Australia, and I can't wait to go and see him and shake his hand.
I can't either, Brenton. It's a wonderful thing to have him here. All the boys and girls are so excited. It's the start of the festive season here in South Australia.
We must thank the 4 sponsoring credit unions, People Choice, Beyond Bank Australia, Credit Union SA and Police Credit Union for bringing us the pageant, because without their support, there would be no pageant.
It's been such a wonderful day. More than 300,000 people have lined the streets here in Adelaide, joining us from around the state, around the country and around the world. What a success.
And of course, it heralds the start of the festive season here in South Australia, not just for Christmas, but as we know from this year's theme, everybody's welcome. It's about celebrating our togetherness and community. What a wonderful day.
It has been such a wonderful event, Brenton. I've had a lot of fun. Have you had a lot of fun?
Oh, we've had an absolute ball down here. Put on a great show, don't they?
It sure has. And I can't wait to get into David Jones to see Father Christmas in the Magic Cave.
Yeah, that's where we're going. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've had a wonderful time here at the Credit Union Christmas Pageant. Have a wonderful Christmas and a happy and prosperous and safe New Year.
And we look forward to seeing you again next year.
This special television event was brought to you by the Nine Network Australia.